Awesome. Hey guys. Okay, so today I want to talk about how to grow your blog traffic to 1,000 page views per day, which would give you 30,000 page views in a month. Hey guys. So before we get started, I would love to know, I had two things I was going to ask you. Well, I want to know kind of where you are blog-wise. So if you guys don't mind sharing how many page views per day you're getting right now or how many page views per month so I can kind of gauge what everybody's up to. And don't worry, it doesn't get published on the video when I put it on my website. Everybody's like, not enough, not enough. So okay, how about this? Put in a number 1 if you are under 1,000 page views per day, and put in number 2 if you are over 10 page views per day. Well, perfect. I'm glad you came to hang out. Okay, good. Good. I'm glad. I'm always like, I don't know, is this a good topic for me to Periscope about? Turns out the answer is yes. Hey. All right, so if you came to hang out with me and you have no idea who I am, my name is Sarah Morgan. I run exosarah.com and I teach people to build badass blogs and online businesses. All right, so we're talking about how to get 1,000 page views per day on your blog. I have 3 things that you can do today. So the first one is you need to figure out where your audience is hanging out. Oh, if you're in the wedding industry, no. Girl, Pinterest is amazing if you do wedding content. Yeah, so if you're in the wedding industry, if you're doing food, if you're doing health, essentially anything, because Pinterest is not like, what it started out as was like pinning random stuff to boards. It was like inspiration boards. It is not that anymore. It is, there are a ton of wedding planners. Oh yeah, Pinterest will be awesome for you. Now Pinterest is a search engine. So no matter what niche you're in, you can go and create a Pinterest profile and there's already tons of content for you to repin. So that's the first thing. You need to figure out where your audience is hanging out. Maybe they're on Pinterest. Maybe you need my Pinterest course. Then you need to make some adjustments. Trust me, you can do really well on Pinterest, even if you're targeting wedding planners, because they're all on there. They're making wedding boards for all of their brides. But maybe your audience is on Instagram. If you're a fashion blogger, you're doing makeup, something like that, it's definitely on Instagram. Maybe they are on Twitter. Yeah, if you're in the IT industry, probably on Twitter or LinkedIn. I don't really talk about LinkedIn that much because it's not really my thing, but it works really well. Yeah, Pinterest is everybody's Google. Anytime you're looking for anything, if I'm looking for a recipe, if I'm looking for like interior design, if I'm looking for like some like crafty project, if I'm looking for makeup tips, hair tips, if I'm looking for travel destinations, literally everything is on Pinterest. And that's where most people go now. At least like if your target demographic is women from 20 to like 60, they're on Pinterest. Even my mom has a Pinterest. That's how I know. Maybe your audience is on Facebook. If you like my grandma is on Facebook. If you like gambling old ladies, go on Facebook. Psychic and a medium. Ooh, I don't know, maybe Instagram for you, or maybe Facebook would be good. Yeah, so you have to figure out where your audience is hanging out, where they're picking up content from, and then you need to post on that platform multiple times a day. Literally, I can't think of any platform, even Periscope, where you should be, if that's your main platform, where you should only be on it once per day or posting one thing. If you are on Pinterest, you need to be posting like 20 to 40 images every single day, which is a lot, but you must schedule them in advance. So I use a program called Tailwind, and I literally 10 minutes every morning while I'm eating my breakfast, I look at the clock, I do 10 minutes of just scheduling content into Tailwind. And then it goes out over the course of a couple weeks. I think right now I have like 20 pins going out per day. But that is my highest traffic roofer. It's more than Twitter and Facebook and search engines combined. So that's where I'm putting all of my time and effort and making sure that my graphics are on point. Tailwind, it's going to be tailwindapp.com. Yeah, it's the best. It makes it so much easier, and they have really good analytics. And I can go through and see like which boards are doing really well or which pins are doing really well and repin stuff. And they just added this like beta thing where you can, it's kind of like a feed reader for blogs. So you can add all of them into this page within, yeah, you can use Board Booster. I just have like a thing for really good design. So that's why I like Tailwind. And they have like a grid so I can move all of my pins around and it's really nice looking. Yeah, so they have this beta thing. You put all of the feeds of blogs that you read in there, and then it pulls in all of the images into a grid. So it kind of looks like a mini Pinterest, and I can repin stuff from in there. So I go into Pinterest, I pin a bunch of stuff, and then I go back into Tailwind and fill things in. Of course, I texted my mom happy birthday, and now she's deciding to text me back right when I'm live. I'm surprised she didn't call, though. Usually a text is always responded to with a call. Okay, so if you're doing Twitter, if your audience is all over Twitter, then you can use something like CoSchedule, or I use Buffer. It's bufferapp.com. And my virtual assistant actually schedules Twitter for me because it's not like my main source of traffic. Yeah, thanks. So I think I have maybe 10 tweets per day scheduled in there, but then I also use, so those 10 tweets are new blog posts and retweets of other people's content. So anything that my audience I think would be interested in, I'm just retweeting them. Yeah, for Pinterest, it's my pins and repins. Yeah, both together. And then, so new blog posts, retweets of other people's content, and then any tweets that I have her schedule for promotional things for like my courses, my ebooks, webinars, giveaways, anything that I have coming up. You're welcome. And then along with Buffer, I use Revive Old Post. It's a plugin for WordPress. And if you guys go to exosarah.com/scope, there's a link in my bio. I put all of the links of anything I talk about and the replay onto that page. And all of my replays of all of my other Periscopes are there as well. So Buffer plus Revive Old Posts. So it sort of depends on your audience. If your audience is all over Twitter, you will get a ton of traffic from it. Twitter is kind of, I think it's usually in third place in my analytics with Facebook. It's exosarah.com/scope. The link's in my bio. So when you're done, you can hop over there if you want. And then if you're doing Facebook, you can do probably 2 to 3 posts per day. They don't have to be huge posts. One could be your blog post. One could be some sort of question, getting your audience involved. One could be a video. So after this is done, I will upload it into my YouTube channel. I will put that video into my exosarah.com/scope page, and I will put it on Facebook because I don't do Facebook Live. My mom is still texting me. Yeah, and then if you're on Instagram, the people that have millions of followers are posting like 5 to 10 times a day. They post a ton. So if your audience is all over Instagram, you can be posting more than once a day. So really pay attention to where people are interacting, where people are moving from that platform into your blog. It's really easy to see on things like Facebook, Pinterest, and Twitter because it will pull those analytics all like right from the platform or right from the clicks. But if you want to check your Instagram conversions, use Bitly. It's bit.ly. Like everything that that people usually on Periscope, the links that they give out, that's bit.ly. It's a free platform, and you can use that to track. So I can see if I post a link into my Instagram bio or into my Instagram caption, I can tell how many people are coming from Instagram and clicking on that link and going to my blog. For me, it's not that many. I have like almost 4,000 followers, and I'll get maybe like 5 to 10 clicks. So I'm not getting a ton of conversions, although I'm not a master at Instagram, and I don't post every single day. I try to post every single day, but it's definitely not more than one photo. So if you're posting a ton and somebody asks, will it be annoying? No, because people likely follow a couple hundred Instagrammers. So your posts, don't post them like 5 in a row, but you can use a platform like Iconosquare. It's iconosquare.com. I will add it into that scope page. You can use that to see what times people are interacting with your content the most and then post at those times. So maybe you post at 8 a.m. and then you post at 11 a.m. and then you post at 3 and then like 8 or something like that. So you're kind of like spreading it throughout the day. But I mean, how many times do you check Instagram every day? I check it like once an hour probably when I'm like in the middle of doing something and I'm like, I need a 2-minute break and scroll through Instagram, right? So you're not gonna see every single post from every single person because of their algorithm change. Yeah, oh yeah, approximately 100 times a day. Yeah, I'm with you. Yeah, so you're not seeing every single post. So even if you do post 5 times, it's unlikely that your audience is going to see every single one of those. So you really need to have good coverage. Same thing with Pinterest. Facebook is a little bit different. They likely will see your post if you interact with them. And I feel like if you post 5 times a day and people are often commenting or liking your post, they're going to see all of them. I don't know. Did you guys see my new mug? Look at this. Oh, there's like a glare. I got a Tonight Show mug. I'm so excited. My boyfriend went to New York and this is what he brought me. Because I am such a dork. I was really, really excited. And there's a price tag on the bottom. It's like my favorite show. Okay, so if you just joined us, we're talking about getting 1,000 page views on your blog per day, and we said you need to figure out where your audience is hanging out. So whatever social media platform, maybe they're all over YouTube, maybe they're on LinkedIn, Facebook, Instagram, Pinterest, Periscope, wherever. Find like the big one. Use your analytics, or use bit.ly in Instagram posts so you can see if they're moving from your post to your blog. You need to post on that platform multiple times a day. Using some sort of scheduler will be very helpful. So I use Tailwind, it's tailwindapp.com, and for Pinterest, and then I use bufferapp.com for Twitter. And then like Instagram, I'm fairly random on that, so I just jump in there and post whenever. Bit.ly, so it's bit.ly, and that's what you'll use to track clicks on a link. tailwindapp.com, and bufferapp.com. And if you go to exosarah.com/scope, I'm going to put all those links on that page for you. Instagram is showing in Google Analytics since a few weeks ago. Oh, that's awesome. Sweet. I'm really bad about looking at my Google Analytics. I just have, I have WordPress, so I just kind of keep an eye on my page views, but at this point, it's not like a huge thing for me. I'm not like actively trying to grow my page views a ton, so yeah, I'm bad at like checking in on my analytics. Okay, the third one is make sure it is really, really, really easy for other people to share your blog posts. This means when they click on your share buttons, all they have to do is click like repin, click retweet, click post to Twitter, or post to Facebook. It's like 2 clicks for them. I find a couple of issues when I go to share people's content, and it bums me out because all y'all are writing great posts, and then I go to share and I'm like, no, I'm not going to write your description for you or like retype your post title because it's in all caps. That makes me yell at my Twitter audience, and I don't want to do that. So if you have share buttons on your website, okay, if you do not have share buttons on your website, let's start there. You should have one set of share buttons at the top, on the side of your blog post, at the bottom. So you need to hit at least 2 of those spots. If you do all 3, that's awesome. Do not have 3 different types of share buttons at the bottom of your blog post because it confuses people and then they're not going to share anything. So I use Sumo Me buttons. It's sumome.com. And those are the buttons that are on the side of my blog post. And then I have the Jetpack share buttons just because they're like really small. They're at the bottom. I think they're still there. I might have taken them off, but I think they're there. I really like Sumo Me because it's just like a set of little icons and it scrolls with the page, so it's always visible on my blog posts. Another important thing is to not have your share buttons displayed on your homepage or on your archive or category or tag or labels, any of those like archive pages. Because if I go to your blog post and I click share on an excerpt, so you have like 20 posts, it's gonna link to that page. So it's gonna link to your category page or it's gonna link to your homepage. And then when somebody finds that on Pinterest in like 3 months, right, because that content stays around for a long time, they're gonna click back and it's gonna go to your homepage and that blog post is gonna be gone. And they're not gonna take the time to go find it. A big difference between WordPress and Square Ready for bloggers. like Squarespace, or is Square already a thing and I'm just out of it? I'm going to assume you're saying Squarespace. So WordPress, if you have some coding skills or you want to get some coding skills or you want to build a really big site, I would use, yeah, okay. I was like, oh man, is there a new thing? And I totally out of the loop. Yeah, those homepage links. Yeah, Mandy, I figured you'd be on that. So if you want coding skills or you have coding skills or you want to hire someone to do the coding, I would use WordPress. It's a little bit more complicated design-wise, but you can do a lot of extra stuff. Like plugins are amazing. They can add so much cool stuff to your site and make it easier to do things like the revive old posts. It automatically tweets my archived posts for me, so I never have to tweet anything that's over a week old. That like takes it completely off my plate. And if you've been hanging out for me a while, you know I love when I can do something and not actually have to do it. For Squarespace, it's really good if you just want to get a really nice looking site online, but you don't want to screw around with coding or anything like that. Maybe you want to make like a logo or you have nice photos and all of the like template and the design stuff is all finished for you. And Megan Mins, it's meganmins.com. She has tons of Squarespace tutorials and she just came out with a site or I think it's a course on how to build out a Squarespace site and you can have it done in like a weekend. She's awesome. Let me drink out of my mug. This is just going to make me like smile every time I'm looking at myself on video. Okay, so Sumo Me buttons. Thank you. Yeah, Mins, M-I-N-N-S. Yeah, M-E-G-A-N-M-I-N-N-S. I'll add it to the to my Periscope page. So Sumo Me buttons on your blog. You only need 1 or 2 sets of share buttons, but don't put them together because that's confusing. And then, super important, you need to have an image. Your title needs to be like good to go. So if people are tweeting or Facebooking your post, that is what is going to show, the title. So if your title is like what I did last weekend, even if your post is amazing and brilliant and like so actionable, nobody is going to share that because what I did last weekend is not clickable at all. You guys know that, right? So your post title has to be pretty descriptive, so it's like good to go when somebody tweets it or Facebooks it. And then your images need to have the alt tag filled in. So if you don't know what this is, go to your blog post, click on the HTML version. So I think in Blogger it says HTML, in WordPress it says text. Click on that. Look at one of your image codes and you'll see ALT equals, and then in quotes, it will probably be the image name. And if you named your image photo 123, when someone goes to pin that, that is what is going to show up in the description. And I always harp on this because it's so important and it drives me crazy when I go to pin a post and there's no description. I'm not going to take the time to figure out a good description for you. I'm just not going to pin your post. And that's what most of your audience is going to do. But every once in a while, I'm like finishing something at the last minute, and that's always the thing that I forget to do. And then I see that I've gotten like 20 pins with that like crap description where it's like blog posting. I'm like, oh, that's what all of those pins say. So it's your alt tag. If you click, so I just go into the, make it easier for your audience and they're more likely to share your content. So I just go into the text or HTML version of my post and look for that and just type it right in there or like copy and paste a sentence into that. Or if you go and click edit on your image, I know in WordPress there's an alt text field that you can fill in. Does anybody have any questions as I'm going through all of this? It's like price tag is driving me crazy. Okay, so it was figure out where your audience hangs out, post on that platform, that social media platform, multiple times a day. That's like 20 times a day for Pinterest, 20 times a day for Twitter, but you can schedule a lot of it. Maybe like 3 times a day, 5 times a day on Facebook. Thanks. On Instagram, at least once a day, but if Instagram is your thing, you got to get up to like 3 to 5 times a day. And it doesn't all have to be brilliant. It can just be like selfie, like I look cute. Hey guys, you know? It doesn't all have to be like, some people write like a mini blog. It doesn't have to be that for every single post, but like it should be something useful for many of them. Okay, and then make sure it's easy for your users to share your blog post content, because if you don't have a good title, if you don't have a description on your images, if you don't have an image that's pinnable or tweetable, Pinterest images need to be tall, like really, really tall, yeah? Nobody is pinning your little horizontal Twitter image to Pinterest, so you have to have that big image. And then some people I see will do 3 different images. They'll do the tall image, they'll do a square image, and then they'll do the Twitter sized images. And people will go through and they'll look and find the appropriate image for whatever platform they're posting to. And make sure you have your share buttons, not 3 different types of share buttons at the bottom of your blog post. Use sumome.com, buttons on the side. Yeah, Canva's awesome, like a nice free platform to make your images. Buttons at the top, buttons at the bottom. You only need 1 set for each space. I just have them on the side and I think at the bottom of my blog post right now. Okay, so if you are doing all of these things and it's not working and you are not getting those 1,000+ page views per day, here is your probably 2 problems. 1, you are not narrowing your niche enough. So you are like, say you blog about kids crafts. You're one in like a million bajillion bloggers blogging about kids crafts. And there's like magazines and there's like the kids networks and the like home and garden. Everybody has info on kids crafts. So you need to have like your thing. Like what makes you stand out from the rest of the bloggers blogging about your subject. So if it's kids crafts, maybe you're doing like eco-friendly, sustainable things, like, you know, taking your recycling and making it into something cool. Or you're doing like crafts that you can do in 30 minutes a day or 15 minutes a day, like one little family project that you can work on a couple times a week. And, you know, for people that are like running their kids all over the place and school and sports and music lessons, and, you know, they're not having that like family togetherness time. So you're giving them a project they can do and it only takes 30 minutes. Whatever it is, it needs to be super specific. It needs to solve a problem. And people need to know what they're going to get out on the end of it. So once they use your tutorials or read your blog post, like what is the purpose of that? What is the end goal? The other thing is you need to inject you into everything you do. Somebody that does this really, really well is Maddie James. And she, at this point, can write about whatever she wants because she has integrated herself so much into all of her content. It's still really useful, but it has like a little bit of a story or her experience in it. And people are really attracted to that. She's not just like another Maddie. It's MATTIEOLOGIE.com. Here, I'll write it down for you. She's amazing. She's really good. If you want to get yelled at about about being productive and getting up early and getting shit done, you can find her on Periscope. There you go. MaddieOlogy.com. She's like so good for really injecting herself into everything that she does. I feel like she's like Beyonce and Oprah mixed together. Yeah, so you have to be like the top part of your blog. If there's no you, then you're just blogging about whatever subject everybody else is blogging about, and you know you're fading into the crowd. Yeah. So whatever it is that makes you stand out, and then having that end goal. The other thing is, if you're doing all of these things and you're like, okay, I have a really specific niche, like I'm putting myself into all of my content, 2 other things you can do. Make sure, like over the next month, write all of your posts as lists or how-to posts. Then you're guaranteed to have really useful content. So over like the next month, the next 2 months, depending on how much you post, try and get like 8 posts. And all of them are list form, so you have a heading, and there's like, you know, a little paragraph under each, so people can work through your content or they can scan through and find what they want. And then, do video content. I know nobody wants to hear that. So jump on Periscope or do YouTube videos or do Facebook Live and get yourself in front of the camera. If you are blogging and you don't have your name or your photo on your website, don't come complain to me that you're not getting any traffic until you fix that. I know it's scary. If you're not feeling super self-confident to like put your face on your blog, but I'm telling you, it will help. People will connect with you. They're not going to connect with an avatar or a picture of like a flower. It's not going to do it. You have to put your face on your blog. Go outside, get in the sunlight, get a gorgeous picture of yourself, put your face on your blog. It will help. All right, does anybody have any questions? Are we all going to go and do these things, or are you already doing these things and it's working, it's not working? Yes, no, maybe so? You're all like, oh God, I'm not going to say anything. There's some hearts. I'm taking that as a yes. Yes, show up in the world. I love that. Absolutely. Yeah. Good. Yeah, don't be afraid. Like, the number of posts per week. Okay, so you have to write blog posts that are, I would say, at least 800 words long. I shoot for 1,200 on my blog because Google really likes long form content. And I think Google, according to Google, a long form post is like 2,000 words, but that is more than I feel like writing during the week. So mine are usually just over 1,000. When I started blogging, I was writing posts 6 days a week. They were not all great posts, but I had a lot of content. I would shoot for at least once, but if you're just getting started, maybe go for 3 if you can. But don't just post 3 posts about whatever. They need to be really good. So get yourself an editorial calendar, make a plan. Maybe you just think about the like top 10 problems that your audience faces with whatever your niche is. And then write a how-to post or a list post on each of those things. And they can be things like, I have like probably 2 or 3 posts that are like my favorite business and blogging books. And that's great content and that's really, really shareable. Or like the top 10 tools that you use or the top 10 investments that you should make. It doesn't all have to be like super creative and like really well thought out and like full of experience and opinions. It can be just like really basic information, like here are the top 10 things or the top 5 things that you need to do in order to hit this goal at the end. So yeah, shoot for at least once a week, but if you can do something like 3 if you're just starting out, that is better. I have a YouTube channel, but it is only my Periscope videos because, so here's the thing. I find that if I shoot a video by myself without you guys watching me, I will like repeat things over and over again till they sound correct, or like take forever trying to make sure that the scene looks perfect, that my makeup's all good, that I'm wearing a great outfit, that my hair looks nice. Like my hair is crazy right now. I don't know what's going on. And it takes me like an hour to shoot a 20-minute, a 10-minute video, and then it takes me another hour to edit all of that. And if I'm gonna put in like graphics and captions, it takes me 2 or 3 hours. So if I do this literally is going to take me like, I've been sitting here for maybe like 20 minutes now, and then I can put it online and I have content. And no, it's not perfect, but the information I'm hoping is really helpful. And that's a really good way to build up a YouTube account. Yeah? Okay. Any last questions? If you go to xosarah.com/scope, the link is in my bio. I'm going to put the replay, all of my other replays, and all of the links that I mentioned in this scope will be on that page. So if you're like, I don't remember and I didn't write anything down, I wrote them down for you. All right. Thanks for hanging out, guys. Have a good day.